You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Seth Meyers believes Trump might need another cognitive exam based on an article by Seth Meyers. Affordability, denial, and the politics of blame. The summary. At our Pennsylvania Defense Summit, President Donald Trump dismissed affordability as a fake word, blamed Democrats for the cost of living, and then tried to turn Democrat into Dumocrat for the crowd. Seth Meyers marked the performance and reminded viewers that Trump keeps taking cognitive exams after boasting about a perfect score. The clip matters less as comedy than as evidence. Trump is still trying to torque his way out of the promises he made on prices. Power is not confusion. Trump is not a commentator trapped outside the system. He is the president. He occupies the office with the most visible power in the country, and he uses it the way he uses everything else, to shift blame upward and outward. When prices stay high, he does not explain policy failure. He attacks the language people use to describe the problem. That matters because affordability is not a gimmick invented by Democrats. It is the public's name for a lived crisis. Trump's move is to deny the term so he can deny the obligation attached to it. The old trick, rename the damage. This is classic misdirection. If you cannot deliver lower prices, you attack the vocabulary that measures your failure. If the problem is called a fake word, then nobody has to discuss wages, groceries, housing, energy, or the gap between campaign promises and reality. Trump's insult routine also does political work. He does not just blame Democrats. He tries to make the audience treat them as unserious, stupid, and linguistically defective. It is not argument. It is degradation as cover for broken promises. The promise was the point. The most important part of the source is not the latest rant. It is the old footage of Trump promising to cut inflation, slash energy costs, and make America affordable again. That was the contract. He sold relief. He sold cheaper groceries. He sold lower gasoline, housing, and electricity costs. Now he is trying to pretend the whole issue is a linguistic trick. That is the actual story. A president who campaigned on material relief and now treats material accountability like a joke. The problem is not that he forgot the subject. The problem is that he remembers exactly enough to evade it. Cognitive theater. Meyers' cognitive test jokes land because Trump keeps inviting them. But the real issue is not whether the tests are funny. It is that the president's public persona has become a loop of self-exculpation, insult, and pseudo-dominance. He brags about test scores, the state's basic things, and then performs competence as if volume can replace governance. The danger here is not merely personal decline. It is institutional decay. A president who cannot or will not distinguish policy failure from rhetorical fraud turns public debate into a madhouse where responsibility is endlessly displaced and nothing has to be fixed. What this reveals. This is how authoritarian politics handles bad outcomes, deny the category, insult the opponent, write the record, and keep moving. Prices stay high. Blame gets rerouted. The office remains occupied by someone who treats language as a weapon against accountability instead of a tool for governing. The broader pattern is simple. When power cannot deliver, it narrates. When narration fails, it sneers. And when a political movement runs on that cycle long enough, the public is left paying for the failure while the people in power argue over who invented the word for it. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to AlterNet for today's article. with the automated voice of Riza. Thanks for listening.